Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss about directed numbers. Okay, so remember that number has got two important parts or two important components. The first one is the value of a number, or you can say in more fancy term, magnitude. It's basically the value. For example, so if something is 5 kilometers away, then 5 is basically the magnitude or the value, right? The second important component is the direction. So maybe you are, for the first time you are listening this thing, when it comes to number, that numbers having direction. So as you all know that we have plus and minus sign in maths, which are basically opposite to one another, and multiplication and division, they are opposite to one another. So plus and minus, they basically show opposite things, right? If plus is showing something is growing, so minus is going to show that something is decreasing, right? So in case of numbers as well, we make use of directions. Direction of a number depends upon it depends upon the quantity. Depending upon the quantity under consideration, we have directions of number. Direction can be indicated with minus sign and plus sign. Plus sign shows increase, or if something is going up or something is moving right. And the opposite is shown by minus sign. Minus sign can be used to show if a number is decreasing, if it's going down, or if something is moving opposite to right, that is towards left. It depends upon the quantity under consideration. If we are talking about temperature, let's suppose 10 degrees Celsius. If it's with negative sign, it means temperature is going down. It's getting cold. If it is with the plus sign, plus 10 degrees Celsius, that means it's going up or it's increasing. If the quantity under consideration is distance, for example, so if we have negative sign with let's suppose 15 kilometers, it means that something is moving towards left. And if it's with positive 15 kilometers, it means moving towards right. So it shows us the direction of something. So the numbers having plus sign with them are called positive numbers. And the numbers having negative sign or minus sign with them are called negative numbers. I hope that now you have very clear idea of what the directed numbers are. So when we have the direction, when we have a prefixed sign plus or minus with a number, when a number has both the parts, that is the magnitude and the direction, to completely specify the quantity, then those numbers are called directed numbers. And direction is always represented by plus or minus sign. Plus sign shows increase, or if something is raising, or something is going right, depending upon the nature of the quantity. Minus sign shows decrease, or something is going down or going towards left. Moreover, the important thing is that the numbers having plus sign with them are known as positive number, and the numbers having the minus sign with them are negative numbers. Okay, now the second thing we are going to discuss is the number line. Now, number line has to do with the directed numbers. Now, you have seen directed numbers like that, right, so far? Okay, now we can graphically represent the directed numbers using number line, and it makes the process so easy and so understandable. Now, how this number line is drawn, let's see. So number line can be shown by such kind of a line, okay, which is directed. Directed means it is continuous in on both sides if we are dealing with the infinite numbers especially. And in the middle of it we put 0, and here we represent it's positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on so forth. Same goes on this side as well. Okay, now there are very important points on this number line. The first one is this point, which is 0, right? And this point is known as origin, from where everything starts, originate, okay, origin, or you can say it's a starting point. So this is the first thing. The second very important thing here is that if you observe that here we have all the numbers having plus sign with them, you know very well that if there is no sign, there is plus sign by default, right? So these are all positive numbers because they are having plus sign as prefix. So these are the positive numbers. So on the right side of the number line, you have all the positive numbers. And on the other side, which is this side, okay, it represents all the negative numbers. Okay, so -1, -5, -7. And this is +5, +8, and these arrows shows that they are continued on both sides. You should remember one very important thing here in case of number line. As we are moving rightwards towards number line, as I told you that plus shows increase or going towards right, right? So as we are moving on right side of this number line, numbers are increasing, right? So numbers are increasing from left to right. So I can say that +3 is greater than +1, right? +3 is greater than +1. Similarly, +8 is greater than +5, because we are moving on the number line, and as we move towards right, the numbers are increasing. But on the other hand, things are going opposite. As we are moving from right to left on the number line, this on the negative side, numbers are magnitude wise increasing, but the direction is actually decreasing the number. So here the numbers are decreasing from right to left. That means as we are moving on this number line away from 0, numbers are basically decreasing. Magnitude wise, if you see the value is increasing, but direction is decreasing the number. So you can say that -1 is basically greater than -3. Okay, so -1 is greater than -3. Similarly, -5 is greater than -7. It is opposite. Here numbers are increasing as we are moving away from 0, and here as we are moving away from 0, the numbers are actually decreasing. So you can say that 0 is also greater than -1. So I hope that now you have understood the number line. Here in case of number line, we sometimes use the word absolute value. Now absolute value is the value without direction. That means if we are not interested in what direction something is moving, and we are only interested how far something is from 0, then that value is basically the absolute value, right? So for example, if something is 6 units away from 0, and I'm not interested in what direction, right? So 6 is basically the absolute value. That means I'm not interested in whether it's towards positive side or negative side, or left side or right side, or increasing or decreasing. I'm just interested to know the value. Okay, only magnitude. So it only shows the magnitude. Okay, it is sometimes represented by the bars, and the number or the value, the magnitude is placed in between. So this is how the absolute value is represented. There is no sign prefixed with it. Now let's see the number line and the directed numbers very briefly. For example, in case of temperature, let's see. So in case of temperature, you know the thermometer very well. So on thermometer, if you observe the thermometer, then you would see that there is a 0 here. So this is basically the origin or starting point, right? And as you go up, it's a number line, vertical number line. We have seen number line this way. So this is basically inverted number line like this. So there's no problem. There could be number line this way as well as this way. Okay, so there's not something to get worried. Okay, as we move up, there are positive numbers, +10, +20, +30, +40, and there is a unit which is degrees Celsius, and on the other side we have degree Fahrenheit, right? So as we are moving up, things are increasing. The temperature is basically increasing as we are moving up. So I can say that 20 degrees Celsius is greater 20 degrees Celsius is greater than 10 degrees Celsius, isn't it? And as we are moving down below the 0, the temperature is decreasing. It's -10, -20, -30. Okay, so here temperature is going down. So remember one thing here, 10 degrees Celsius minus 10 degrees Celsius is greater than -30 degrees Celsius. You know now very well that as we move down, value is increasing, but due to the direction, the 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 overall value or the overall number is basically decreasing, right? So One more important thing to be inferred here is, as we are moving up on the temperature, so it's getting hotter, right? So it means it's more hotter as we are moving up. Okay, and as we are moving down, the temperature is getting colder. So temperature can be of anything like room or a human body, right? So if, for example, this is the thermometer for measuring the temperature of the atmosphere, then if uh, if the temperature is, let's suppose, 32 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Celsius, okay, and temperature on another day is 40 degrees Celsius, positive, positive, right? So 40 degrees Celsius is greater than 32 degrees Celsius. That means on this day, when the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, it's going to be really hotter as compared to the day when the temperature is 32 degrees. It's going to be less hot. Similarly, if you see this one on this side, the negative numbers, if the temperature in your area is negative, let's suppose negative 8 degrees Celsius, right? So it is it is cold, right? It's negative 8 degrees Celsius means it's colder. And if on another day it is 10 degrees Celsius, negative 10 degrees Celsius, that means it is more colder. Okay, here it's more colder than this day, right? So this is greater than this. So now I hope that you have a clear idea of what directed numbers are and how to use the number line and how to represent the directed numbers and how to infer the number line. Have a happy learning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more such videos.